Hello, friends from around the world. Welcome to Daily Nugget podcast number 3. Yay! We have Elodie right here from Côte d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
She just graduated. My name is Amelia Bywaters, of course, the founder of Daily Nuggets. We're so excited to give you a podcast now. So here we go with our recently graduate Elodie.
Yeah.
She's so excited. Tell us,
Thank
Elodie,
you.
tell the audience who you are.
Hello everybody, I'm Elodie and I live in Beijing and I just graduated from my degree. Yeah, so I'm really glad today to be with Mom Emilia and have this podcast today. Thank you very much.
What did you get your degree in? And you just graduated. What did you get your degree in?
It was in management.
Management.
Yeah, management, enterprise management.
Was that a master's or
No, a PhD. Yeah.
Doctor, how dare I not recognize her PhD, Dr. Elodie? How would you like for us to refer you to?
Oh, only Elodie. Yeah, it's okay.
What? She
Elodie,
went
it's
to
okay.
college, to the university for so many years, and now she just humbly wants us to address her as Elodie.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to call you Dr. Elodie today.
No,
Whether
Mom.
you like it or not. Dr. Elodie it is. Because you work hard. You work so hard and you just finished.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
what was your bachelor on and your master's on?
The bachelor was in business administration and the master in international business, like the same field. Yeah.
So how long have you been in China?
Like for around more than 8 to 9 years. Yeah, around. Yeah.
8 to 9 years. So you speak Chinese fluently, I imagine.
A little bit.
A
Mama
little bit?
Bubu.
I don't speak Chinese, so Elodie, you know what? Today I want you to tell the audience all about Elodie before we branch into the topic of toxic relationships, which is what the focus on this month's Daily Nuggets is. So be free and tell the audience, let them get to know you.
Okay, yeah. As I mentioned, I'm really an outgoing person. I love to learn from other people. I really love to read, and really love also to be among like great people like today with Mom Emilia. I always willing to learn. So, yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Let's go back to Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
Tell us about the life over there before you came to China. Yeah, tell us where you grew up, what life was like in Ivory Coast in comparison to China. What is it that you like here that you didn't have in Ivory Coast? And what do you miss about back home? And you can also tell us about your trip next week.
Yeah. In Ivory Coast, I think the main things that we miss here is the love of the family, the presence, the physical presence, I mean, because only using the mobile phone to chat with the people back home is not like really good, but we try to do it. And also we miss the food, of course, because even if you try to do the Ivorian food, here is not the same taste. So I mean the food and the warm presence of your friends, the people around you, your family, this kind of thing. But since I have to go back there, I think I will renew with all of this. Yeah.
Tell us about your growing up in Ivory Coast. What was life like?
Yeah, life was really great because I was with my family, both of my parents, and also I have siblings, and also with friends around. And I can say it was very family-centered life and all family and also religious-centered life because I was raised in a really religious family. So they gave me some values, some good beliefs like respect for other people, and also some good values that helped me to stay this long time in China, and also to like network with also great people here. Yeah.
Do you come from a big family? How many in your family?
No, like me and the other siblings, like we are six people with the parents. Yeah.
Okay, so 4 children and
and the parents
and your 2 parents.
Yeah.
And both of your parents are alive.
Yeah, by the grace of God. Yeah.
So why did, of all 4 children, why was Elodie the one to come to China?
Because I am the eldest one. Yeah. So after the high school, getting the high school degree, the parents decide that I can come here and continue with the university degree.
So your other siblings back home, they also studied, went further in their studies?
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
it sounds to me, like you a very educated family.
Yeah.
Your parents invested in you.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so talk to us about what is coming up next for Elodie. Now you finish your PhD for Dr. So Dr. Elodie, what is next for you? What are you doing next week? Why don't you share with us?
First, I plan to went back home, and after we will see how we can also serve the country and see also other opportunities that will be open. Yeah.
Okay. She's going to Ivory Coast, to Abidjan, and I want to go with her. Put me on your luggage.
Yeah,
I want to be, I want to go with you.
Yeah.
Now, Elodie, this month on Daily Nuggets, we are focusing on toxic relationships.
Yeah.
Those relationships that are not good.
Yeah.
So, when you think of the words toxic relationships, how do you personally define those? To you, what does a toxic relationship represent? You can give us an example if you want.
Okay, for me, first of all, the word toxic is like a negative word, and toxic means something that is not good for the body. For example, when you eat something that is toxic, after you have running stomach, or even you can die from it. So when we go on the part of relationship, for me, a toxic relationship is a relationship that can lead like your physical body, or even your spirit, or even your soul to die, because in this relationship you don't have joy, you are not feeling yourself, and it's like the other people is putting pressure on you.
Not to get personal or anything, but you can even think of other people. Have you ever witnessed a relationship that to you appeared to be toxic? And if yes, can you generally describe it to us without having to go into details?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I witnessed this kind of relationship in different ways. The main one that I'm used to see is like love relationship between the man and a woman, and sometimes the problem is what I saw. It's the woman being abused by the man, but I don't say that is not like some men are not abused also by women. But what I saw.
What do you mean by abuse?
Like verbal abuse. Sometimes the man can say bad words that diminish the self-esteem of that woman, and also like physical abuse. Sometimes they have some physical altercation, and the woman after is wounded and have to go to the hospital. And but the main one that I saw was the verbal abuse. Like the person tried to diminish by his words the lady, and say that maybe you are not worth it, you are not good, you are not enough, you are not going to make it in life, you are nothing without me, this kind of bad words. Yeah.
Okay, so basically the abuse, the verbal, and sometimes also physical.
Yeah.
So what kind of behavior then should the person that is being abused do in this kind of situation? Should a person just call it quits? And how do you know whether it's time to just walk away from that relationship? Can you give some advice to some of our viewers that may be
Okay.
engaged in this kind of toxic relationships?
Okay, for the person living in this situation, it's sometimes difficult to acknowledge that the person is living in an abusive relation, because sometimes when there is love, it's like the person is blind and can't see, and sometimes the abuser always come and say, okay, sorry, always say sorry, and I'm not going to do it anymore, so please, sorry. And because of love, this person let it go. So I think for me, some signs that show you that you are in an abusive relationship is like you see how the person address you, the words that the person use to address to you. I know that sometimes in even couple or even parent, infants or friend relationship there are some how to say, there's some altercation or maybe misunderstanding. But if it's go to the point that this person abuse you with bad words, that diminish you, that how to say, that keep away your self-esteem, or that make you feel like you are not worth it, or you are not a complete person, I think that are signs for you to leave that person. Yeah.
Do you see any hope in this type of relationship where the other party, it could be both ways. It could be the woman abusing the man, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Do you see any hope at all for these people? And if there is hope, what can they do to get things going the right way?
Yeah, I think there is hope, even if it's quite small. For me personally, even if it's quite small, I think there is still hope if the abuser is willing to have conversation, to use conversation, to talk with the other person first. Try to settle things between them first, and if things can't go well, they can seek advice from the good friends, or from like counselor or some coach, like relationship coach. Try to seek advice from them and try to see if they can.
So you, speaking of counseling, Elodie,
Yeah.
you know, in Africa we don't have that many counselors. So here you are, you're going to Abidjan, and you're going to Cote d'Ivoire next week. How would you be advising these people involved in toxic relationship? Where could they go in Africa
I think
to get help?
It's true that there are not so many, like the coach or counseling coach, they are not so developed in Africa. But nowadays, I think there are still some people, there are still some coach, even online, because nowadays with social media, it's easy to find this kind of people. First, try to find them on social media. The first thing I think, the abused person have to talk maybe with one person in the family, or even a good friend, because if the person try to take it all by herself or himself, it's difficult. And sometimes because of thinking, because of worrying, after we see the person that have developed some disease that are not really diseases because the body is not good, but because the mind is going through a lot. So I think first, try to seek for advices, for help from people in your environment around you. Yeah.
So seek advice, because in Africa most of the time we rely on our relatives, our uncles, our aunt, our family, our extended family to give us advice on what we're going through. Even though if we don't have counselors and so on. So that is your advice. So when is it time to just walk away? In your opinion, in a toxic relationship, when do you know that now it's time to just turn my back, forget about this?
I think when your life is at risk. When I say your life, I mean like even your physical body or your mental health. If you see that you can't take it anymore, or because of your mental health, your life is really affected, I think it's time to leave. Because if your mental health is affected, every aspect of your life, even your work, your relationship with other people, your business, and all the things you are doing will be affected. So if you see that your mental health is affected and maybe you try to solve the situation and there's no issue for that, I think it's better to love yourself first more than be in this toxic relationship. And the point is that sometimes the abused person may think that I will not find maybe somebody, even if it's a friend, a lover, or somebody else, but it's a lie for me. Because when you do the step to setting back from this relationship, you will see what life will throw at you. And I think life will throw at you very good things and made a good person. Yeah.
Okay. So what you're saying is, if a person's life is in danger, then it's time to flight.
Yeah, for me. Yeah.
Okay. Either you fight, or it's going to be a flight, or you run away. So you turn your back when you feel, here, if I stick around, my life will be in great danger. Thank you so much, Elodie. Where can our viewers, can you give us a contact where our viewers can contact you, an email address or something? Or WhatsApp or whatever?
I have my WeChat, and the name is Prunelle Elodie. So if you write it, you can...
Prunelle, can you spell it?
Prune2LE, and Elodie, Elodie.
Okay, we'll put it on our broadcast at the bottom. But Elodie, we also have some friends from other parts of the world that do not have WeChat. How can they contact you? You have an email address?
I have an email, and also they can leave me a message on my Facebook page.
Okay.
It's the same
we'll
name.
put her Facebook and email address. Thank you, Elodie, for joining us. Have an amazing trip to Ivory Coast, Abidjan, and please, I want to go. Love you, Elodie.
Thank you, Mom.